What's the word, YouTube? It's Big Will. I'm back again. Yo, what's up? Hey, you read it? Subscribe. Like and subscribe to the channel, why don't you? You stop by, you listen a little bit, just hit them buttons. They're free. Even if you don't want to stay, just hit them. Helps me out. You might not like me, but hey, you don't like everybody in the world, right? I don't like people. I still put up with them. Just hit that like and subscribe button. Do me a favor. Excuse me. Anyways, like I said, I told you when I hear that news that's controversy, I'm gonna tell you about it. Maybe you haven't heard it. What do you think of when you hear police officer, the word? You look at them for protection, guidance, help in emergency, things of that nature, right? If there's something wrong, they're there to help you, right? When women are being preyed upon, they're there to help them, right? Or are they? Or are they part of the problem? I don't know. Let me tell you the story that I heard down in my state here, Massachusetts, Stoughton, Mass. Stoughton Police Chief. Stoughton Police Chief says 4 officers had inappropriate relationship with young woman who took her own life. An internal affairs probe also found a military recruiter had an inappropriate communication with the woman, the chief said. Police officers, they haven't... Let me read the story. I already read it yesterday. It's fucking crazy. Stoughton Police Chief Donna McNamara said on Friday, a year-plus-long internal affairs investigation found 3 former police officers had inappropriate relationships with a young woman who once participated in a department-run youth program. Okay, so these police departments, they have like police cadets and things like that. And this young lady was part of the program, and these officers had inappropriate relations with her. Listen to the story. Sandra Birchmore, 23, of Canton, Mass, took her own life last year while pregnant with her first child. She told friends the father of the child was Officer Matthew G. Farwell, 36, whom she met when she was a 13-year-old member of the department's Youth Explorers program, according to the Boston Globe. Credit the Boston Globe for the story. Detailing the probe's findings at a press conference, McNamara said Farwell's twin brother William and their former supervisor, Officer Robert C. Devine, all allegedly violated department rules and regulations throughout their conduct with Birchmore. All had resigned from the department before the outcome of the investigation. Investigators also found Devine, who was once involved in a police after-school program overseeing several Stoughton Middle School students, allegedly had inappropriate contact with a female student in that program, McNamara said. So here's this Devine, Officer Devine, he was a detective, right? They had a middle school program that the police were mentoring these kids and stuff, and he's there fucking around with the young girls. These cops, they're rapists. Even these cops, fucking pedophiles. Come on. Furthermore, the department's review revealed an officer who now serves in another Massachusetts police department had inappropriate relations with Birchmore, and a military recruiter allegedly had inappropriate communications with Birchmore, McNamara said. She said her office notified the other police department of the report's conclusion, but declined to elaborate further, citing the advice of legal counsel. McNamara has also started the process of notifying the military's chain of command regarding the recruiter's alleged misconduct. McNamara is outraged by the findings, she said. The report found serious misconduct that she called deeply troubling to me as a human being and as a police chief. Birchmore was failed by, manipulated by, and used by people of authority that she admired and trusted right up until her final days, McNamara said. Miss Birchmore was a vulnerable person who had one constant in her life since childhood: her unwavering admiration of police officers, of those serving in the military, people in uniform, people in oaths and duties to protect and serve. The admiration led her to form relationships with men who are willing to take advantage of her. So she always looked up to police and military. She liked that uniform, them soldiers and policemen, and she liked that she admired that. You know, she had a thing for that, and these guys knew it. So what do? They take advantage of a kid. 13 years old, they started taking advantage of her. Okay? As a result, McNamara has already notified the newly formed Massachusetts Peace Office Standards and Training Post, Commission of the report's findings, and has recommended without delay that the Farwell brothers and Devine's certifications to serve as police officers be permanently revoked, she said. McNamara recommended to Post that all three men be placed in a national decertification database to ensure they can never serve in law enforcement anywhere else, she said. All three men, the Farwell brothers and Devine, violated an oath of office and should never have the privilege of serving any community as a police officer, McNamara said. Through a sustained and deliberate combination of lies, deceit, and treachery, they violated the police and the core values of Stoughton Police Department, not to mention human decency. The department's internal investigation spanned a review of nearly 100,000 pages of cell phone records and text messages and a dozen interviews, according to McNamara. The review did not notably probe the circumstances of Birchmore's death, as that matter is being investigated by the Norfolk County District Attorney's Office. McNamara said the report has been submitted to the District Attorney's Office. Should any criminal charges be brought against the men involved, those charges would come from that office. What allegedly happened? Birchmore was found dead inside her apartment in Canton on February 4th, 2021. The Office of the Chief Medical Examiner later said Birchmore died by suicide and confirmed she was pregnant at the time of her death, but the father's identity was not disclosed. Birchmore's friends told the Globe earlier this year that Birchmore and Matthew Farwell, that's one of the officers, began a sexual relationship when she was 15, below the age of consent, 16 in Massachusetts. I believe it's 18 in Massachusetts. Unless the law has changed, it's 18 in Massachusetts. I live here. But unless the law has changed recently, I believe it is 18. According to McNamara, evidence from the internal probe demonstrates Matthew Farwell allegedly began an inappropriate relationship with Birchmore when she was 15 and he was 27. Fucking scumbag. Scumbag. Fucking pig, you rapist. Okay? And that's why people say, oh, they're police officers. They're held to higher standards. They're human beings. They're human beings. They're men. They prey on victims. You know how many police officers, because they have that uniform, if you have an argument with your girlfriend and you got to leave for the night because you and your girl are arguing or something, you know how many police officers hit on your girl? Whether they're pregnant, they're young, they're in a relationship, they're married, and they try to use their badge as a show of force to try and get the person out of the picture. They'll have people pulled over and arrested and charged as stupid shit to get them out of the picture. Have them put in jail. Oh, I know the prosecutor. Hey, do me a favor. Have this guy. They're dirty. Police are dirty. I'm telling you, they're human beings. They're not superheroes. They're human beings, and they're dirty, dirty people. Investigators allegedly found many digital messages containing explicit exchanges between the two over several years, McNamara said. Matthew Farwell allegedly went to Birchmore's apartment on February 1st, 2021, days before she was found dead, to end their relationship and got into what he later described as a pretty nasty argument, McNamara said. Speaking with the state police after Birchmore's death, Matthew Farwell acknowledged he had sex with her in 2020, but the sexual part of their relationship ended in October that year, according to the Globe. Farwell told investigators Birchmore said the baby was due in September 2021, and given the time frame, he could not be the father, the newspaper reports. He resigned from the department in April. William Farwell, this is his brother, who allegedly had multiple inappropriate physical encounters with Birchmore, and evidence allegedly showed he exchanged explicit messages and photographs with her while he was on duty, McNamara said. The evidence suggests that William Farwell also, at the very least, attempted to introduce Ms. Birchmore to other men, she said. So he's a cop, and here he is, he's pimping this young girl out to other police officers, right? Oh yeah, she likes cops, she'll take, she'll do it with you. Don't worry, I can get her to do it. Yeah, you want, what do you want? You want her? He didn't care about her, he was using her. A little girl, no feelings, right? Probably had no father or something growing up. And these cops, they're just taking advantage of her. Devine also allegedly had inappropriate relations with Birchmore, McNamara said. A former deputy chief of the department, Devine has been demoted 6 years ago after a department investigation discovered he lied to investigators who were probing allegations he improperly demanded an officer investigate a woman who was harassing him, according to the Globe. That report found Devine had an extramarital affair with the woman. So he had an extramarital affair with the woman, and then he had another people investigating her and said that she was harassing him. So he had a cop investigator saying that she was demanding him, and it was all lies. Devine began overseeing the department's Explorers program about 20 years ago, and changed what had traditionally been a scouting program into a paramilitary-style program that taught aspects of policing to youth participants. According to McNamara, the Farwell brothers participated in a program when they were younger. But the latest internal review found Devine's alleged misconduct extends beyond his previous record, and the allegations involving his relations with Birchmore that he now faces, McNamara said. Devine was part of an after-school program at Stoughton Middle School where he had Devine was part of an after-school program at Stoughton Middle School where he and other officers were in charge of several students without supervision from members of the school district. McNamara said the investigation determined that Devine had inappropriate contact with a female student in that program, high school student. Here's this guy sleeping with him, or messing with him, and touching with him, and talking dirty to him. Devine resigned from the department last month. The officers deny any wrongdoing. In an email to the Globe, Devine, who is also an attorney, denied the allegations against him. I will challenge these findings in every forum available to me and anticipate legal action for multiple infractions, Devine wrote. At least in my case, this was a politically motivated sham against an employee who has consistently spoken out against leadership. It speaks volumes that they released any findings to the media before ever notifying me. In a letter to McNamara last month, Devine slammed the decision to place him on leave earlier this year as unnecessary and unfair, the Globe reports. He wrote he had no personal relationship with Birchmore and did not share his phone number with her, according to the newspaper. Should you try to defame me at the end of this, Devine wrote to McNamara, I am prepared to resort to every legal means at my disposal to fight you. William Farwell resigned from the department on August 1st as he took up a job with the Transportation Security Administration at Baltimore Washington International Airport, where he is now employed as an explosive specialist, according to the Globe. A TSS spokesperson told the newspaper last month that a review of William Farwell's work history deployed no derogatory information. In his resignation letter to the department, he wrote he denies any and all allegations of misconduct. I do not have confidence in in the independence of objectivity of the town's investigation and have already provided a statement to the state police, he wrote. A lawyer for Matthew Farwell told the Globe that he had not yet seen the report on Thursday evening and therefore cannot comment. Earlier this year, however, Matthew Farwell told the outlets in a statement that the Birchmore's death was a tragedy, but that he did not commit any crimes. So he was the last person to see her. She was pregnant with his kid. He's denying it. He was the last person to see her where he says he had a fight, right? And they apparently found that there was no foul play in her death, and they're saying that she committed suicide. Did she? Who knows? I think I read in one report that they're saying something about they were testing her toxicology report. There's a report from the Massachusetts State Police that they just released. I tried to upload it as a PDF, and it's giving me trouble downloading it. But if I do, I will send it out in another video so you just can read it. But I mean, what do you think? What do you think? You know, like I said, these cops. There's definitely allegations, and they found these cops that they're fooling around with other kids in school, and these guys, the three of them were all in the program with all these young kids, and I'm sure that if they investigate, that they'll find other little girls that they, you know, talk to and just were inappropriate, you know. Again, these police officers, I see it all the time. I see it all the time. I see it all the time. When I was married, me and my wife were carrying groceries into the house. I walked into the house with the groceries. The cop didn't see me. He came around the corner in his cruiser. My wife was outside. I wish he would have took her, but my wife was outside with the groceries, and he pulled up to her. Hey, how you doing? What's up? We had just moved in the area. He had a house around the corner. What's up? How you doing? What's your name? My wife's looking at him like, why? Was there a problem? I mean, that's how we are with cops. Why? Was there a problem? Well, not, hey, how you doing? How you doing? My name's Sam, and I'm a citizen. No, that's not the type of person I am. My wife was like, why? What's going on? What's the problem? No, I just, I see you new to the neighborhood, and I have a house over there. I'm just saying hi to you. And so I walked out, and I seen him. I'm like, what's up? What's the problem? And he's like, what's your name? And I'm like, why? What's your problem? Like, there an issue? And he's like, yeah, I got my eye on you. What the fuck? And drove away. Now, because of the city I'm from, I have a last name that's it's no, you know, yeah. If you're from the city, you know who my family is. So the cop knew who I was. He was just wanted to let me know that he knew I lived there now, right? But at the same time, he didn't know I was there, and he was trying to fuck with my wife. They're dirty people, man. I see it so many times. Man. There's many cops in my city, that, you know, that I know their wives and stuff, that they've been divorced from their husbands fucking around with hookers and shit. You know, detectives, these vice detectives, they pay these hookers they give them drugs to fuck around with them and give them information while they're out there in the street about who's doing what and shit like that. You know what I'm saying? All these cops do it. There's cops in my city now that are being investigated. There's a big investigation going on in my police department for all this bullshit, all this misconduct shit. Cops having drugs as supposed to be evidence, but they have it in their drawers. They have it at home. You know, they're finding it in their personal vehicles, empty baggies and stuff. You know, that these cops are obviously using drugs, and when they're, you know, pulling people over, they're keeping drugs and planting it on other people. They planted it on me in 2015 when they raided my house. They found something on me in my pocket. That part is true, but there was nothing in my house, and I was outside of the house. So in order for them to take my money, take the money that was in the house, they had to have it in the same place as drugs. So when he asked for my keys, oh, where's the keys to your truck? I said, they're in my vest hanging up right there on the door. When he got the keys out, he was like, oh, what's this in your pocket? Now, I knew what I had for drugs because I was just getting ready to go re-up at that time, okay? When I sold drugs. I knew what I had. So what he's saying he found in my vest was not mine. It was not there. But in order to take the shit from my house and charge me more, he charged me with drugs and I said to him, that's the shit that you found in my pocket. Where's the shit? Where's that shit? Oh, that's already in the car and you know, marked as evidence. No, that's not already in the car marked as evidence. You just handcuffed me outside and brought me in the house. You didn't run back down to your car, put it outside. No, you had the same shit in your pocket that you took out of my pockets and said, look, this is what I found in your vest, and now I'm taking all the money that's in your house. You know, shit like that. And they broke open my safe. Because they have a badge, they are not superheroes. Okay? And we put way too much trust in the police department to handle our problems when we can do it on our own. We can do it on our own. And they're the ones that make the law to hold us down. You know, how many times that you look at a cop and he'll start yelling at you, and, hey, who are you talking to? And he'll be like, what? You know, you're going. So they're going to arrest you when you try resistance or stand up for yourself. You know, that's why these phones nowadays, it's great that everybody is recording, because it's putting police and it's catching police planting shit, and, you know, it's putting these police, it's putting them in perspective to show that a lot of them don't even know all the laws, and that they abuse their power, you know, and they're being caught for it. But let me know what you think about this case. Let me know what you think about these police officers. It's a fucking shame. You know, you think that when they find the investigation, maybe this cop made the girl OD because he didn't want to have the baby, and she was a wild girl, and he was just like I said, she was just a fuck person to him. You know, that he was a young girl. They were turning her out since she was 15, had no guidance, and here's him and his twin brother, and I think they were twins. Either way, they were two brothers, and their supervisor, their director of the program, they're all fucking with her. They introduced her to a soldier. He was fucking with her, and the investigation shows through text messages and pictures and messages that she sent to her friends that he introduced her to another police officer in another police department that they didn't name him, but this police chief notified the other police department. So there's going to be an investigation there. You know, it's like, come on, man. These cops, they took advantage of this girl. But let me know what you all think in the comments below. Again, like and subscribe, and when I hear shit like this, I'll let you know. You don't hear my news, I don't hear yours, but I'll keep looking around, and I'll see you all on the next one. I got some jail stories coming up, some shit I was just remembering, and I'm like, damn, this is wild. But I'll see you all on the next one. It's your boy Big Will. Life after prison. Salute.